Red Hot Chili Peppers have been one of the few things I associated with California in my previous life, back in Russia. At that time, California, from my cold, hectic and hostile Moscow reality, seemed incredibly surreal. And now, here I am in sunny San Diego, studying, teaching, thinking and searching. Searching for myself, my new self that is still shaping on the leftovers from my old subjectivity. Subjectivity of a Russian girl born into a poor family in the remote province of the former Soviet Union, subjectivity of a survivor, fighter and competitor, subjectivity of a journalist who couldn't be converted into a propagandist when journalism in Russia has been killed by the government. I left my profession and my country in August of 2014 to pursue my PhD in Communication and Media Studies at UCSD. Teaching undergrads is one of my duties here. This is what we usually do in my sections. Okay, so 3 groups. So now watch me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Number 1. People go this way. Number 2 people go this way. Number 3 people go that way. Today we are discussing space as a social product and the role of communities in its production. The language of community was one of the things that struck me the most when I first came to the US. I couldn't understand what people mean by that. If translate the word community into Russian, it means nothing but within society, and has none of those harmonious connotations of unity, equality, sharing and caring that my students put into this term. Neither it's understood as problematic in Russia, unlike in the US. Our professor Ilana Zilberg, who teaches this course I am teaching for, in her recent book explains why the term community is problematic. Remember? In Ilana's book, it's the intersection of this. She argues that the discourse of community might be used for depoliticizing some important issues, for reinforcing a dominant ideology, for creating homogeneous categories ignoring differences, or for invoking a sense of exclusion of others who do not belong to the community. However, this social formation is highly important for pursuing social justice and for identity formation. Your identity is formed by the community you grew up in. This phrase I've heard in lecture has blown my mind and made me think that for solving my recent identity crisis and for rediscovering my subjectivity, I have to obtain the sense of belonging, which means to become a part of a community and to understand what community truly is. Why, for example, interacting with a group of people of the same nationality as mine, or the same ethnic group I assigned to, or with my colleagues and neighbors, doesn't feel to me like being a part of a community, but doing this does. Another class I'm teaching, Club Zumba. Although it looks like a fun and crazy party, it is a serious workout, which requires a lot of knowledge and effort to make it seem effortless, but effective. In this life of mine, which is parallel to the life of academia, I am a professional fitness instructor. Show me your biceps. crazy shimmy, booty shaking, and sassy movements are imprescriptible parts of Zumba, a dance fitness program based on Latin and world rhythms, structured as an interval cardio workout and instructed in an exercise in disguise style. Before moving to San Diego, I taught Zumba in one of the fitness clubs in Moscow, but it was absolutely different experience. Different vibe, different energy, and different students' reception and demands. More fitness and less craziness. Like this, for example.
Pero en la oscuridad. Vámonos para la calle, que la rumba se formó fuera. Tráiganse los timbales, que esto es pura gozadera.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
The fitness studio turned out to be a place where I took my first Zumba class in San Diego, and Erin, a studio owner who taught that very first class, became my first Zumba friend here. She invited me to be a part of the Z Fitness crew and introduced me to the other instructors, who happened to be extremely caring and supporting, surprisingly to that component of my previous subjectivity that got used to compete in order to survive.
We not only attend each other's classes, but we bonded in a way that we like to go and, for example, celebrate each other's birthdays. Every time a fitness instructor has a birthday coming up, everyone's invited. Christmas party at our house, for example. So our instructors, you know, they teach in other places, they live in other places, but they have come and joined our community and our Z Fitness family, and I couldn't ask for more. I love our instructors. They've come from Russia. They've come from, a couple of our instructors have probably almost an hour drive to get here. But you know, they do it for not only their love of Zumba, but for their love of the students that come through this door. The friendships that they've made, you know. They're friends with the students inside the studio, outside the studio. I can't tell you how many potluck parties, birthday parties I've been invited to by many of our Filipino students who live right here in Mira Mesa. And in turn, I celebrate things with them. I've invited them to things such as birthday parties.
I found that most of my fellow instructors, like myself, moved to San Diego from different places: Puerto Rico, Mexico, Argentina, Uzbekistan, Japan, and we all have gone through the same process of rediscovering ourselves and looking for a place where we would feel home, away from the home we left.
See you next week.
See ya!
Erin, instead of looking for such a place, decided to create it herself.
Moved from Colorado Springs and had a similar business out there. We didn't have just one set location. We had several around town. So I wouldn't get to see a lot of those students as much as I can see these students. This is like our home, you know, our home studio, home base. Whereas out there, it was just kind of, it was more spotty. You know, I would still make great friends, some of my best friends I've met through Zumba back there, and they continue to teach as well. But there wasn't that feeling of having just a home studio where people could come. When I moved here and opened up Z Fitness, immediately the ladies who walked through that door opened their arms to me. They invited me right away to their homes. They had some, I don't know what kind of parties they were having, but I've been invited to so many different events right here in the community. The Filipino community is very strong in their culture, in their family values. Very inviting, very friendly, family-oriented.
Erin's family studio is literally run by her family. Erin and her husband are teaching. Erin's dad and mother-in-law are working at the front desk and babysitting their granddaughter Ella, who spends a lot of time playing in the studio.
I actually met my husband at a Zumba studio in Colorado Springs. He was the one who always stood at the front of the class. I was kind of a little more shy, stood toward the back, but I had my eye on him. And so that's how I met him. He introduced me to other forms of dance, partner dance. But before all of that, my background was an elementary school teacher as well as hockey player, roller derby queen, speed skater. So my life was completely different. Zumba opened up so much. It opened up, you know, me meeting the love of my life and my precious 2.5-year-old daughter, Zumba baby. I have a Zumba baby. And now my passion is dance. Not only Zumba, but partner dance. Me and my husband compete. Most recently, earned some world titles in country dance. Thank you, Zumba!
Erin's daughter Ella is not the only kid here. Girls are often bringing their children, sometimes partners, who are either dancing or just watching while waiting. And in some cases, the entire family ended up shaking it on the stage. These ladies are siblings Luz, Norlin, and Ophelia, who are rocking it together here at least twice a week.
I never did dance before. Yes. Until I started Zumba, and thank you to my friend, she invited me.
Yeah.
I used to stay in the back because I do not know how the steps are, and then I eventually felt more confidently for dancing. It's like so much fun that I met people and I can hang out with my sisters and my friends, and now my classmates look up to me. On the first few times that I went up on the stage, I was so nervous. But then afterwards, I felt more comfortable in dancing. And I was just like everybody else, having fun on the stage. I I like that most of the students are looking up on me, but I also am worried that I'm not doing the right moves on the stage.
How we doing? Sisters who moved to San Diego from the Philippines almost never miss a class, because for them it is also a chance to regularly see each other, chat before the warm-up starts, take their traditional selfies, and meet their Filipino friends.
I am the only one that is here. Now, I mean, I have relatives, but in different states, but here in San Diego. At least, you meet everybody. I mean, like, I have an extended family.
Happiness is contagious. Like, I normally don't last in the Zumba class and I hate aerobic. But then here, this location is close by my work, so I stop by and I like this particular class because it seems that I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody personally, like who is who, but I think people is related because of the fight, because of Olga.
Yes.
And it just have the sense of happiness to dance. And you know, these ladies is our role model. I cannot keep up with them. They dance so well. Like, I'm just go this way, go that way. I just afraid to bump on them.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great.
I just stand on the back, try to see Olga. This is my hangout. Yeah, everybody is busy, and then I work all the time. I have my daughter, and since I moved up north, it's a little bit tough. My friends down here. So yeah, this is considered my hangout. Like even I don't know anybody.
Good. We'll keep you busy in here.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. But then to me personally, I'm not Filipino. But when I come here, I know there's a majority. There's a lot of Filipino ladies, but I don't feel
Outside?
No, I don't feel outsider or like because I'm not part of the Filipino
Because
or
you're
like
welcome.
there's no box.
Yeah.
Just feel like everybody the same in the class.
I think the community with hospitality,
Yeah,
with
that's
new
right.
people,
Hospitality.
we just love to, mingle and just introduce our community. I mean, Mira Mesa is getting bigger and bigger. I think with different races, each one has its own. But again, the Zumba just brings everybody.
Everybody mingles with everyone. Like it's like one whole family.
See, like here, I feel like people dance not because they have to follow a certain
Agree.
move. They dance because they are happy and are free.
They like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not every place like this.
Wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me.
This is my Zumba. Something like this.
Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let
All of these are my favorite.
let a day go.
Purple.
My favorite one is the one that my niece designed.
On Saturday morning of every single week, Filipino Zumba girls of Mira Mesa wake up very early to eat a light breakfast, choose an outfit, and be at the studio by 8 a.m. At this time, I'm teaching the most packed class of the week, which I would never imagine back in Russia, where my students usually preferred to sleep in on the weekends. For my recent students, early Zumba is a way to dedicate some time for themselves in order to spend the rest of the weekend with the kids and partners. Family time for the Filipino people is sacred, and they are trying to keep this tradition, as well as a bunch of other ones, bringing the spirit of their country to this suburb, also known as Manila Mesa. Here, the more affluent Filipinos live. Two other suburbs of San Diego with the large Filipino population are Chula Vista and National City. Overall, San Diego County has about 200,000 Filipino residents.
Good morning, come on in. Oh my goodness. It's my son's birthday today, so we are celebrating. This afternoon, you are invited to attend my son's 31st birthday. It's old. Oh, my son used to play the piano. He goes to a Filipino teacher, and that was when he was in middle school. He was really good, but then he decided to just, do something else. He works in a pharmaceutical company also.
While a birthday boy and his father are still asleep, Luz and her mom are planning what to cook for tonight's party and over the morning coffee, recalling the stories from their old life back in the Philippines, which Luz and her son left in 1990.
It's really fun in the Philippines. Whenever a child born, they will base the name on the calendar, the dates in the calendar. So that's the old way. So that's how they name me. My mom wanted a different name, but then this guy in the office changed it into this name, Luz. Yeah. My mom named me Luisita, but then he changed it into Luz. So that's how I got my name. My mom came here first because she was petitioned by my sister, the older sister. Remember Aurora? She petitioned her, so she was here first, and then after 5 years, we were able to come over also. I came here in the U.S. In 1990 November with my son, and I left my husband in the Philippines. It's because the petition was for me as a single mom, so we have to sacrifice. My husband stayed in the Philippines for 6 years before he could even join us here in the U.S. I still have a brother and a sister back in the Philippines, but they are waiting for their turn to come over also. My mom came over here because she thinks if she could come over, we will be able to come and join her here, because way back in the Philippines, even though you are a professional, you have finished college, it's so hard to land a job.
While Luz is trying to make it to a Saturday 8 a.m. Zumba class, her mom is going to start cooking rice and slicing vegetables for the birthday dinner.
We have this occasion in the Philippines. We call it a fiesta. It's a dance party that anyone could join. Even young ones, old ones, everyone. That's what we're doing, right? When we have parties, we have Zumba already.
My sister-in-law, Luz, if you see her in the party, at the party, before, she doesn't know how to dance. Believe me, she doesn't like it. But now, even when she hear music, she dance. Like, oh my sister, you're crazy. Even you're here at the street, she's shaking.
Luz's sister-in-law, Tessa, remembers dance parties back home pretty well. In order to get there, she was tricking her strict dad by dressing up for dancing and getting a night clothes on top, pretending that she's ready to go to bed. Now, many years later, she sometimes tricks her husband to go dancing.
My husband, he likes it. But sometimes if he's tired, came from work, bring me to the Zumba because I can drive. Bring me to the Zumba. No, tomorrow. You can go tomorrow, but now, no. Because I'm tired. Sometimes it hurts me. if I told him, can you bring me to Zumba, please? I'm tired. Can you join that Zumba tomorrow? So then I called my sister-in-law. She picked me up. One time, he's mad because I didn't sleep until 6 o'clock in the morning. We play card with my sister-in-law. We play card until 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I didn't sleep. I go straight to Zumba. But when I was in Zumba, my God, my body is like strong. Even I didn't sleep. Believe me, he's mad. Oh God, believe me. You know, in the Philippines, I joined contest in TV. Huh? Right, darling. I give birth to my 2 children, and there is like a hula, like Hawaiian. I joined contest. Hawaiian dance. In TV, a popular TV program in the Philippines. All my family members in the Philippines, they like to dance. Believe me. And there is also a Zumba in the Philippines, but it's different. They need to pay more. It's hard, life in the Philippines. That's why if I have like money, I send them. Sometimes I cry. Why? If I remember the life in the Philippines is not good. Here you can buy everything. You can buy anything you want. Not like in the Philippines, if you have no work, how can you buy this stuff? Nothing. Nothing, and no work in the Philippines. That's why we're here only for my, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. They are the one who petition us. I have still my, I think 4 brothers in the Philippines and 1 sister. If we have still a family in the Philippines, we send them gift package, clothes, t-shirt, coffee, sugar, creamer, and tools for the car.
Now it's gonna be my favorite part.
In say fitness, before I'm shy attending Zumba, like always looking everybody, but sometimes like moving but not too much. When I become a friendly and everybody's like talking each other, friendly each other, now I'm not shy. If you call me on the stage, I shake too much, even I can't breathe, but still shaking. And then sometimes if you call me, they clap their hands and yes, of course you're like, they give you energy, right?
It's interesting that almost all of my Zumba girls confessed that when they first came to the studio, they were shy, lacked confidence, and didn't feel that joy that inspires them now. Well, this is true for me as well. When I started teaching here, I honestly didn't feel comfortable and confident at all being up on the stage in front of the people of the culture that I've never encountered before and being perceived as a stranger to the Latino culture that dares to teach people who grew up on the Latin rhythms how to dance salsa, merengue, and reggaeton. That's why I decided to surprise my students with some Russian rhythms they've never heard of. Now I'm breaking down the steps of a Russian folk song Kalinka that I adjusted to a Zumba style. This choreography ends up with the traditional Russian round dance and kazachok dance movements. Moreover, Kalinka song became not only the statement of my identity here, but also a creative way to recognize Russian-speaking students who also come to the fitness. They moved to San Diego from Moscow, St. Petersburg, Siberia, and former Soviet republics like Belarus, Uzbekistan, Georgia, Kyrgyzstan. I love to see their reaction when they hear familiar melody and lyrics that they didn't expect to hear. They usually approach me after the class to thank and to talk, and we often become good friends outside of the studio. That's how I also became a part of a community of Russian immigrants in San Diego. After this class, all of my students and myself are invited to a charity fundraising event that in our Zumba community is called a Zumbathon. The Zumbathon is too far from Mira Mesa, in Vista, and the girls are not going there, but they decide to participate in the other way by making donations. With Mira Mesa Zumba Girls' contribution and the fitness punch cards for the raffle donated by Erin, our local community is merging into something bigger. Something with strong voice, noble cause, tight connections, and powerful impact.
My butt? Of course. Our butt. Love you, girl.